I still don't even know if I'm doing the right thing here. It's like, oh Holly, welcome back, and then, oh, I'm taking a break again very soon. All be revealed though, won't it? It will. Welcome to Vlogmas on ABOHTV day 1. It is so weird to sit here and film a video like this because I have not made a video like this in so long. But I'm actually quite excited about it. I want to get out of the norm a little bit, and I've been really umming and ahhing about doing Vlogmas for the past few weeks, and I've been really undecided because there is just so much going on right now, and I know that I say that all of the time. It's getting a little old now, I know, but really there is just so much going on, and while I'm probably mad adding Vlogmas to my plate, I just felt like it was the right thing to do at this point in the year. I feel like I've got a lot to unload and document, which is really what day 1 is going to be all about. Also, do you like my mug though? Gotta have the snowman for day 1 of Vlogmas, haven't we? I show my mugs on Instagram basically every single morning as part of my morning routine, and my audience are obsessed with them. So the Christmas ones are finally out now that we are in December, and it makes me very, very happy. And since at the moment I can only have 2 cups of tea per day instead of my usual 4 to 6 cups per day, then I am definitely going to make the most of it. Okay, where shall we begin? Basically, there is a reason why the title of this video is what it is, and that is very much because my routine has changed, and it's changed again and again and again over the past few months, and it's going to change again in 2021, and it's been an adjustment. Is probably the best way to explain it. The thing is, the things that we do on a daily basis change, and that is why it is so important for us to do what is right for us in the moment. And since I last spoke to you on this channel, a lot has changed. If you follow me on Instagram, you will probably already know this, but in case you don't know yet, we are expecting a baby in March 2021. I mean, if this isn't proof, I really don't know what is. And if there is anything that makes you reevaluate your entire life, it's having a baby. So I basically sat down and I looked at everything I was doing for the business, and I realized that all the stuff that I had on my plate included things that I needed to be doing, so things that I needed to get done and projects I needed to get done in time for the baby's arrival, as well as things that I don't necessarily need to be doing right now and probably need to be a bit better about parting ways with, which is all about getting better at the productive lifestyle, because you have to at some point ask yourself, why are you holding on to this task for dear life? Really, you don't need to do that. But when I sat down to evaluate everything, I basically realized that if I added up everything, it was like a total of 3 full-time jobs. And I was sat here thinking, hold on, 3 full-time jobs and there's me. Something is not quite right here. So I wanted to get a lot of that brain space back for me and get some things off of my plate, and also get some more help with those types of things as well. And so something that I have done since I last spoke to you is that I have hired people. I have hired a podcast editor, I have hired a co-coach, and next up I will be hiring a personal assistant and someone to help with all things content. A lot of people think that a lot of people might think I should have hired a virtual assistant first, but I had to really think about where the business was heading and what I really needed right now and what I needed in the immediate future. And I just knew in my heart that I needed to hire a co-coach. And when I hired a co-coach, I knew I didn't just want to put an application form out and have loads of people apply. I wanted it to be someone that I knew, and I wanted it to be someone who I trusted. I wanted it to be someone in my community which is full of really, really talented people. I know that my biggest weakness is letting go of tasks and loosening control of really anything to do with the business. And in all honesty, I've been putting off hiring for so long that this baby finally forced me to do it and loosen the reins on some things. And I also didn't want to have to bring on someone who I would heavily have to train, because at that point I would have just thought, oh well, it's just so much easier for me to do it myself. So I needed to get out of that space. And by really breaking down all of the tasks and all of the roles in my business, it made me really clear on what I actually needed to be focusing on. Because I really didn't want to go down the route of hiring someone to do everything. Like if you're hiring an executive assistant, you can't have them editing videos. They have other specific skills and other specific things to do. So it became very important for me to have that defined for now and moving forward as well, so that after I have my baby, I know what I'm working towards, what that bigger vision for the company really is. So I've been working with a podcast editor for a while now actually, and I've also hired a co-coach, and that was the scariest thing to do. Because when you create something, when you create a program that you put your heart and soul into and you create it and you serve these people, you really don't want to give any of that up. But obviously I knew come the 1st of March or whenever the baby arrives, I couldn't be coaching. I couldn't really be doing any work because, well, there's gonna be another human in the household. So if you are familiar with me, you know that I have my main business, which is a branch of Holly, and that is primarily business coaching. I offer one-on-one coaching services, and earlier in 2020 I launched my group program, the Busy to Boss Academy, which has over 70 members in it now, which is just insane. But obviously because coaching requires me sat at my computer on calls with my clients, this wasn't going to be sustainable or scalable for me as I started a family, which is why the Busy to Boss Academy came along. And so now I'm really in the process of preparing for that transition, as I am going to take some maternity leave next year. So my routine and my priorities have clearly changed, because in order for me to take effective maternity leave and be happy about it, my business needs to be in a certain place. It needs to be set up in a way so it can run without me being there 24/7. I've also finally found a morning routine that I'm happy with that definitely went by the wayside in my first trimester. There was a lot of sitting on the couch and watching Disney Plus. That was basically my life. And then the rest of the week is really split between serving my clients and working on that big picture vision for my business, for where I want it to be by the time the baby comes next year. And it's also being spent working with my coach to plan for this, as she supports me through that, and my co-coach to help her feel more confident as we go along this journey together, and just making sure that every decision that I make is related to our core values as a company and what our mission is, and how we get things done on a regular basis. And it really is something that I have to get done on a regular basis, because I have a lot of the same check marks to check every single week, and there are also a lot of random curveballs that can happen as well. So it used to be that I just had client calls to worry about, and that was all I really had. But now it's client calls and the academy calls and my online content and systems and evergreen funnels and hiring and all of those things. So things have changed a lot, really. And so I thought the best way to start Vlogmas was to really let you in on the fact that all of this has been going on. I've not really spoken about this in a lot of detail yet on my social media. I have a little bit on my podcast, Blog It Boss It Radio, with a new series that I'm doing on there. And with that as well, when I mean all things baby and I'm talking about all this stuff, it's also a lot of business work, but we've had a lot of personal work as well. So we've been getting the house ready and we've been decorating everywhere. We weren't going to do everywhere all at once first. We were just going to tackle one room at a time. But then when we got the painter and decorator in, and we just thought, do you know what, let's just get it all boxed off. And so we did that, apart from just a couple of rooms. So it's not finished yet. I've got a few finishing touches to do, but it's at a good enough place at this point where I really want to share it with you during this first week of Vlogmas. And also just bring you back to this space where I work, where I spend all of my day, you know, loving my life and pumping out a lot of the stuff that you see me doing on a regular basis, and just allow you to get a better feel for the way that things are going. So just for a bit of context, it's Sunday afternoon as I'm recording this. It's 3:30. The light is on because it's basically dark already. And because I want to make the most of my time right now, we're really not doing a lot else because of lockdown. And so I do usually definitely get a decent amount of work done on a Sunday, which means I can really show up on a Monday morning fresh and ready to go because I've really just got everything laid out. So it's quite a crazy time right now, and the two biggest priorities for me are to focus on getting the business ready for the baby's arrival and focus on getting myself and our family and our home ready for the baby's arrival. And I think the thing that it's made me realize the most is that setting up your business for success in general is tough. But setting up your business in a way that can function and support your family is a completely different ballgame. And I think that was the biggest thing, was just not just being like, okay, we're having a baby, but also we've got to get the business to a decent place, and we've got to manage both of those things at the same time. So having more hands on deck for these projects and really laying out a plan in advance was extremely critical, both personally and professionally, which is why I've been planning for this for so long, because I wanted to make sure that all of my ducks were in a row. And so obviously different people have played a really important role in that, and I feel like that's why I found making a decision about Vlogmas so hard in the first place, but in the end why I also really wanted to do it. Not because I need more things to do, because I definitely don't, but because I just wanted to share this moment with you. I wanted to document this time, and it felt so appropriate with the fact that things are going to look very different this year and things are going to look very different next year. And also that when I've done Vlogmas before, I've just loved it. So lots of things to happen over the next few months, and part of me sharing all of this as well is just that I still do a lot of the same things. I'm still doing my morning routine. I wake up at 6 AM in the morning. It used to be 5:30, but I just found that I was going to bed way too early, and this still gives me plenty of time to get done everything that I want to get done in an evening and still have some time with my husband. My morning routine went completely out of the window during my first trimester, so when I felt like I could get back into it, I took the chance to just rejig things a little bit. I no longer work out first thing in the morning anymore. I used to do that, but now I usually work out around 9:30 in the morning after I've done my morning routine and started a little bit of work. And with all things exercise as well, I'm actually working with a personal trainer at the moment who specialises in training pregnant women, so pre and postnatal. I have a virtual session with her once a week, and then she gives me 2 other workouts to complete during the week. So I do those, and then I do a lot of walking as well. And I'm just being really more mindful of my time now, more than ever, and what I'm focusing on, because it's a constant reminder that, Holly, you don't get paid by the hour. You get paid to get things done. So that is top of mind for me right now, and just with everything that I've been planning during this time as well. So I do my morning routine, I get in my exercise gear, I do some work, I work out, I get ready, and then I've got the rest of the day to work or do calls or whatever is on my calendar for that day. Bonus points to anyone who can guess what is also top of mind for me right now, and sometimes, aka a lot of the time, keeps me awake at night. How is this all gonna work with a baby. Realistically, am I going to have the same hour to spend doing my morning routine when the baby comes? Probably not. So that's why I'm making the most of my time now, because I honestly don't know what it's gonna look like by March or even April or May. I have no idea. And then we also have Lola, who is as wonderful and as giddy as ever. So it's thinking about managing that balance as well, when at the moment she just wants to be near us all the time, and she is so clingy with me at the moment. She honestly hardly ever leaves my side. And let me tell you something else as well. Planning for a baby is not cheap. Oh boy, there is a lot of stuff you have to buy. So it's been a lot of things amongst this changing routine as well, which is then going to change again in a few months' time. I'm also not sleeping very well. I used to be an amazing sleeper. I miss being a good sleeper. As soon as my head used to hit the pillow, I used to be asleep, and then I'd sleep right through until my alarm. Not anymore. And that affects things as well, because carrying around more weight and lack of sleep means that I get more tired during the day, and that brings out all the imposter syndrome in me as well, because I talk about how important it is to get sleep and rest and take breaks, and there I am feeling guilty for having more sleep and taking breaks and having more rest. And I also want to share as well that I am not hiding from the fact that things have been tough and that there are obstacles. We have them all the time. You have to deal with them, but you also have to know that they are happening, and you have to know that they are coming, and then you have to ask yourself, okay, how can we improve this situation? How can we make this situation better? So like I said, it's Sunday right now as I'm filming this. It's very dark outside, and so I just thought it would be good to start today and just start Vlogmas with a little update of what you can expect. We don't have our Christmas tree up yet. We are getting it later on this week, so that's definitely a vlog you can look forward to. But we are getting it a lot earlier than we did last year. We left it far too late last year, and let's be honest, I think we could all use a little more of the festive joy after what this year has been for so many of us. So let's go forth with this new everything. Welcome to Vlogmas, friends. I literally don't even know how long I've just been waffling on for. Who knows how long this video is gonna be. This is Lola's daily ritual with any damp towels. She pulls them down and then proceeds to rub on them. Oh yeah, all done now. Oh, nice to sit. So I just wanted to quickly recap, because I feel like that was a lot to start Vlogmas with. I think I've got to a point now where I am just really proud of myself and how I am adjusting to this, and I think that part of that comes down to how much I have practiced balancing my schedule and things that happen as circumstances change. And this has been a big circumstance change. But I think that once I have the baby and I go back to work after my maternity leave next year, I'm going to notice how working in this way and working with a team is going to be so much more efficient, and that's going to give me a lot of my creative space back. Right now I'm leaning very heavily on my morning routine to find that time to be creative and do my thinking and do my mindfulness so that I don't lose that creative spark, because obviously in everything that I do it really all needs to be very forward thinking and not kind of reactive or tired. And if I am here to motivate you and show you how to make the most of your time, then I have to stay motivated and make the most of my time. And that can honestly be a lot of pressure sometimes. But I find that a lot easier with my mornings, and I am really looking forward to how much my time overall is going to change with what I am doing within it. That is going to help keep me in the most creative and forward-thinking mindset as I possibly can. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm just setting things up in a way where I'm not on the hamster wheel all of the time. And when you do a lot of the same things all of the time, it is very hamster wheel-like. And that can really prevent a lot of growth in a lot of different ways. So yeah, it's a good change. It's a fun change. And hopefully you've noticed some positive things and will continue to notice some positive things that will happen on this channel and pretty much basically everywhere else that you can find me online. And that is all thanks to what is going on with me personally right now. So coming up over the next few days, I am going to be sharing with you my nighttime routine, which is another equally important routine for me. And I always say to my clients and my students that your morning routine absolutely starts the night before. And so that will definitely be filmed in the dark, as will my morning routine, because we just don't get that many hours of daylight at the moment, do we? So yeah, I think that's where we're gonna leave it today. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for those boss vibes. Be grateful for what you have. Show up for yourself every single day and go out there and become the boss of your life. I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of Vlogmas. So don't leave me hanging. Don't forget to come back, okay? There is so much more to come.